Most people explain Speed's success with personality, chaos, or luck, but after studying years of his uploads, I found a repeatable system hiding underneath almost everything he does. And that's important because building an audience through live streaming has never been harder. With millions of creators competing for the same viewers, simply going live is no longer enough to grow. I spent thousands of hours breaking down channels into practical strategies, and after analyzing more than 100 hours of Speed's content, here's the framework that gained him 622 million views last month. Since mid-2022, Speed's content has followed a simple
6 million views in a month? Damn.
three-step formula, and it all starts with step 1, breaking the invisible ceiling. You see, every single piece of content published on YouTube has an invisible ceiling. There's a maximum amount of views a video can reach, and it's determined before it's ever even published. We can see this invisible ceiling and how Speed broke through it by comparing his content in the first month of 2022 to what he was making in the last month of 2022. The most obvious difference is the average view count, but when you look closer, the uploads actually follow two completely different strategies. In January of 2022, all of his videos were improvised desktop streams. Using a just chatting or gaming format, it's just Speed on his computer in his bedroom with no set content plans. The majority of these streams feature Speed interacting with his audience and playing popular video games like Fortnite and Five Nights at Freddy's, while occasionally going on Discord and Omegle. The content is positioned well, playing video games with high TAMs. That is the total addressable market, which you can think of as the maximum size of the potential audience that would be interested in a specific topic. So he has the potential to reach a lot of people. But in order to be successful making content with a high TAM, it needs to be something that aligns with you as a person and be something you can stand out in. The reason video game content isn't scalable for Speed is due to the fact that he's pretty average at video games. Having it as his main source of content as someone who's
Chad, who's excited for GTA to come out? I know it's off topic, but who's excited for GTA? I can't wait, man.
Personality initially drove his increased views and subscribers, limited him as a creator. So what exactly did he do to go from having 3 million subscribers at the start of 2022 to 15 million at the end of it? On YouTube, you can break viewership up into 3 sections: core, casual, and new viewers. These spontaneous desktop streams mainly appealed to his core viewers and some casual, and in January, that was the only content he was releasing. The reasons his content is alienating new viewers is due to the language he uses in the titles of his lives, which are lazy and really only understood by returning viewers. A large reason for this is because it's impossible to effectively title your live streams when you don't know what you're going to be doing in them. When we look at the December uploads, however, we see more of a balance. 8 of the 20 videos were IRL streams, and 6 of them were something we consider growth videos. These videos are focused on a subject, not just his personality, and they're meant to bring in new viewers. And what subject did he choose?
Let's play football.
Yo, I'm not lying, Chad.
Yes!
I'm not lying.
Not just his personality, and they're meant to bring in new viewers.
Soccer changed this man's career.
Subject did he choose?
Bro.
Let's play football.
Over the course of 2022, Speed made one of the smartest decisions of his career, and that was to rebrand as the guy that loves football and is obsessed with Ronaldo. But it's not just as simple as that. There are a few things that contribute to how he was able to obliterate the view ceiling he had at the start of 2022. The most obvious being the new addressable market that he's now tapped into. He went from the TAMs of the video games he was playing to the TAMs of the biggest superstar in the world with 670 million followers on Instagram, in the biggest sport with an estimated 3.5 billion fans worldwide. Now, the less obvious thing he did was how he shaped his content. In December of 2022, he had 4 outlier videos tied to the World Cup. Learning from those videos, he developed repeatable...
Y'all seen that clip when that guy asked him who's your favorite soccer player? He was like, Cristiano Ronaldo. Bro, that clip forever changed this man's career, bro. It's just elevated ever since. Because people don't understand how big soccer is, bro. Y'all saw the World Cup. Y'all saw how many viewers and, like, bro, how much money it made the United States and FIFA? The World Cup alone? Boy.
Formats that have
8 billion views? The planet watches soccer. Let's get that straight. No other sport comes close to soccer, bro.
It's been responsible for 7 of his 10 biggest
it makes no sense.
live streams. It's essentially a cheat code. With his brand so closely tied to football, all he has to do is show up for a major football event and it's viral content. That's the power of a large total addressable market. For him to reach these large numbers, only a small percentage of football fans need to be interested. The content doesn't need to appeal to everyone. It just needs to resonate with a fraction of a massive audience. But replicating Speed's success isn't as simple as just...
Yeah, that's right, because there's 8 billion. a fraction that's like just, what is that? The amount of followers he got on YouTube?
starting to make football content. Many creators
62 million?
have tried and failed or only achieved a small fraction of what Speed has. And a large reason for that is due to the second part of his formula, the momentum arc. It's Speed's solution to the live stream paradox, which is something that limits a lot of creators. So what is the live stream paradox? You see, live streams are a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, they're great for building an audience because the creator can directly interact with viewers and build connections like no other form of content can. But on the other hand, live streams have a massive problem. They're not evergreen, searchable assets that the algorithm can promote 24/7 like normal long-form videos. They heavily require an immediate spike in real-time metrics for YouTube to promote them to larger audiences on the browse page.
Damn, this man's done some research.
This makes it a lot harder for streaming content to attract new viewers. Most streamers try to solve this in the same way. They make a massive amount of short form content, whether it's from clipping the most entertaining moments from their live streams or creating dedicated short form videos. They simply need to use other mediums to grow their audience. Speed of course does this, but there's something else he's figured out to solve the live stream paradox. Take a look.
We're about to go see Ronaldo, bro. Okay, first of all, I came here to see Ronaldo. Where's Ronaldo at, bro? Where's Ronaldo at?
What Speed has done is steal a mechanism from your favorite TV shows. He doesn't think of content in terms of individual videos. He thinks in terms of story arcs and sagas. Every stream, clip, collaboration, challenge, or world tour becomes part of a larger narrative that fans can follow over months.
That is true, Chad. That is true. All of his RO streams, they're like set up. Like everything, there's always something happening. And that's what keeps people just watching the streams, bro. Like, he's always got something going. Cause like if you just like out there just streaming, doing nothing, nobody's gonna watch you. So like, let's say one stream he's like on the football field. Next stream he's on the stage acting. Next stream he's like diving Niagara Falls. Like it's crazy, bro.
Or even years. This is important because audiences feel far more invested when it feels like they're watching a journey rather than just isolated pieces of content. You see the stories start to unfold in short form, so you turn into the live stream to catch what you hope will be the finale. The perfect example of this is Speed's Ronaldo saga. These are 4 examples of streams where Speed thought he was going to meet Ronaldo. These streams could be viewed as failures, but in fact, they're the exact opposite when you look at the numbers.
And boy, when he finally met Ronaldo, whoo.
Each failed attempt helped to attract a wider audience and built more anticipation around the moment that he would finally get to meet him. But there's more to it than just that. Take a look at what all this hype and anticipation results in.
His biggest fan, IShowSpeed.
Where's Ronaldo?
He gets coverage from other creators and even traditional media like Sky Sports talking about him. This helps him reach even further and gain the attention of new audiences. And when he finally met Ronaldo, this live stream and the clipped YouTube video created from it have over 47 million combined views. In total, he got over 120 million views on his main channel alone for spending 8 months trying to meet Ronaldo versus the 3.1 million views he would have gotten if he had just met him on the first attempt. He uses
That's insane, bro.
the exact same strategy with his Visit Every Country saga, but there's an important difference in the execution. Instead of visiting all 195 countries back to back, he again breaks the journey into arcs to create a degree of difficulty. He knows he's the hero of the story, and it's hard to cheer for the hero if everything comes too easily. Each tour gets its own build-up, promotion, highlights, challenges, local celebrities, cultural experiences, and memorable moments, all building hype and anticipation around the countries he's visiting. But the next part of Speed's formula has the biggest impact of all. It's something Speed does better than almost anyone else, and that's engagement farming. Now, if you've made it this far in this video, I want to give you
Is engagement farming the same as clip farming? It's the same thing, right, Chad?
a reward. I will send $100 to someone who subscribes, likes, and comments on this video in the next 4 weeks. Now, unlike most creators, Speed didn't initially build his audience around a specific challenge format, game, or niche. He built it around himself. His viewers weren't just watching content, they were spending time with Speed. Over thousands of hours of live streaming, he created a relationship that felt far more personal, more like a friend than a traditional YouTube audience. This is one of the biggest advantages of streaming. The audience isn't watching from a distance, they're participating. And Speed developed ways to tap into this like few others. He constantly interacts with the chat, responds to jokes, embraces community memes, and makes viewers feel like they can influence what happens next. One of the best examples came in March 2022, when he gained over 350,000 subscribers in a single night.
5 milli right here, bro.
Wow.
5 milli right here, dog. Here you go. What the fuck is y'all doing? What the fuck is y'all doing, bro?
At first glance, it looked chaotic. Viewers were subscribing, unsubscribing, and constantly trying to provoke a reaction from him. But that's exactly why it worked. Speed understood something most creators don't. The moment viewers realize they can influence what's happening on screen, they get far more invested. Every reaction from Speed encouraged another reaction from the audience. But unlike creators who force interaction through obvious tactics,
Wow. Wow.
Speed made it feel natural and entertaining. The result of this is an audience that feels noticed, and it instantly turns them into core viewers. This is the strategy at the heart of his success. And with the other two parts of his formula, turned him into a global brand with some pretty unbelievable revenue numbers. We've actually been able to piece together his earnings based off of data and things he's revealed in interviews. But for the numbers to make sense, you
Damn, bro. You ever here pocket watching?
first need to understand how Speed structures his content ecosystem. He knows that his audience will follow him anywhere. So he built a system that doesn't rely on a single channel. He built a network of channels that repackage the same moments into different formats. A live stream could become dozens of clips, highlights, shorts, and edited videos across 4 different channels. Every big moment generates multiple opportunities for views, ad revenue, memberships, donations, and future subscribers. And this is what it results in. In a month where Speed is more active, he generates around $905,000 from AdSense across all 4 of his channels.
There's no way, bro. He has to make more. I think he's making more than that. When I'm counting gifts, when I'm talking about streams, nah, it's more than that, chat.
Then if we look at Super Chat and membership earnings, he's reported to make between $20,000 and $30,000 per stream. So using the lower side of that with 14 streams over 28 days, that equals another $280,000 in revenue. So in an active month, he's earning almost $1.2 million from YouTube alone. But that is the smallest fraction of Speed's revenue. The much larger portion is from brand deals. One of the smartest things Speed has done is position his personal brand around football and athletic competition. He turned his unfair advantage, his athletic ability, into content and used it to break into sports communities all over the world. Whether it was playing Aussie rules football in Australia, wrestling in Senegal, or competing in strength challenges against elite athletes, he was constantly putting himself into unfamiliar sports and proving he could hold his own. The result is that every collaboration introduced him to a new audience. This also had a second-order effect. The more sports content he made, the more people began associating the Speed brand with athleticism. But brands don't just want reach. They want audiences that are invested. Because Speed's community is so engaged, companies know their message is reaching fans who care about what he says and does. And nothing demonstrates this more than his world tours. Just like a musician selling out venues, Speed's tours showcase the strength of his fan base in a way that view counts never could. That's why we've seen partnerships with companies such as FIFA, Prime Hydration, Dick's Sporting Goods,
chat.
Expedia.
That's crazy, man. W video, bro. W video, chat. W video.
Beats, Cash App,
Out of all the videos I've seen, reactions, and I've done, this is probably one of the best videos.
WWE and many other major brands. But how much revenue does it actually translate into? Speed stated in an interview in December 2024 that brand deals accounted for